A very good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are joining us from. My name is Ambassador Benjamin Ozwanza, and you are welcome to the Power Impact Series, proudly brought to you by the African Seasoned Speakers Network, where we influence the next generation of Africans wherever they find themselves. And today, you find yourself to be on the platform. And so we're going to influence you positively. You're going to love the guests that I have in house today. So you don't want to turn around. You don't want to move anywhere. You want to stay close to your device and listen to what our guests have for you today. We thank you all for joining us. And as I always do, come to the chat area. Let me know who is online with me, who is joining me. Let me know who is there. Chat with me and share the link. Share the link because you're going to be blown away today. Last week was on another level, but this week, when we're done, you're going to tell me what level it is today. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. So share the page, share the play. Let others also join us, and then we will continue with our discussion. But before I bring on board our guest, what did you learn last week? What did you take home? What were some of your takes home last week? Yeah. Get in there. Bring it up. Let me feel the energy in the house today. All right. So I'll take my first commercial break. Right after the commercial break, I will do the introduction of our guest today. So stick around. Don't go anywhere.
Need a spark to kickstart your innovation? Looking for thoughts and talks to get things moving? Wondering how to navigate a future full of change and uncertainty? With the eye-opening stories of digital disruption, extreme customer centricity, organizational innovation, and global shift, our collective of speakers, MCs, and moderators will shift your perspective. Meet our speakers. For booking and interviews, contact us on 0246 054092 or send us a mail info.accessnet@gmail.com. You can also follow us on all social media channels at AccessNet Global, African Seasoned Speakers Network, influencing the next generation of Africans.
Influencing the next generation of Africans, and that is what we stand for, and that is what we do here. Right about now. Yes, let me see who's in the chat. Let me feel it. Send me a hi. Send me where you are joining me from, and then let's get the conversation going. Okay, so right about now, I want to introduce to you our guest for today. So we go with our introduction. Right, our guest is the CEO and founder of the Mansaray Foundation, a decorated retired United States Army officer and a certified physician associate. With 25 or 26 years plus span of experience ranges from executive and organizational leadership, both within the United States Army and at the White House. Our guest expertise includes developing and implementing health policies, coordinating and executing humanitarian efforts, executive and accessory medical planning, international diplomacy and protocol in support of United States presidential and vice presidential engagement around the world, community development, and public speaking, which our guest is going to do today. Our guest have served 23 years in the United States Army and completed 2 tours to Iraq, where our guest coordinated over 30 humanitarian missions, and in her first deployment treated over 7,000 trauma patients. Our guest is the first woman to be assigned to the White House by the Army to serve as a White House physician assistant and tactical medical officer to the then President Barack Obama and the Vice President, who is the current President of the United States of America, President Joe Biden. Our guest's final military assignment was as the senior military aide to the Vice President of the United States. Our guest is the first and only medical officer to serve as a military aide at the White House. Upon retiring from the military, our guest served as executive medical planner for the United States National Basketball Association, followed by senior executive assistant director for public health at the White House Office of National Drug Control Policy and United States National Drug Demand Reduction Coordinator. I'm loving what I'm reading. Now, I guess is under our guest leadership in the latter role. The first ever national treatment plan was developed to address the treatment gap in substance use disorder. Our guest spent 10 years of her career at the White House. Our guest currently is a master or is currently pursuing or is Masters of Science in Physician Assistant Studies and is currently a candidate for Masters in International Service with American University. I guess the CEO of the Mansaray Foundation, where I guess utilizes grassroots community approach to reduce maternal death, prioritizing community and teenage health promotion efforts, and is currently piloting an agricultural project to address undernutrition in pregnant, lactating women and children under 5. I guess reside in Sierra Leone, West Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are happy to hear from the person that I have narrated to you, want you to just help me welcome for the very first time onto the Power Impact series, all the way from Sierra Leone, West Africa. Let's welcome Saibatu Mansaray. How are you doing, Saibatu?
I am well. I love the introduction. I am so humbled and honored to be on your platform. You're a dynamic host, of course, so I'm trying to live up to your level for the next 30 to 45 minutes.
Thank you so much, and you are welcome. We love you. We love you. We love the voice you're giving to us, and we know it's going to definitely going to shine to us this evening, afternoon, depending on where you are watching us from. Yeah, so I read a lot of things about you. You've done so lot. Done well.
Yes, just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. In this very short time of living, yes, I've done just a little bit.
You've done a little bit. Yes, it's little, but it's huge. Yes, it's huge. It's huge. It's huge. Right. So I read all this about you. There's a lot of things I read, a lot of stuff about you. But hey, we are having you here in the studio. We want you to tell us about yourself. Let's hear from you. I mean, maybe I just cook some of these things up, but you here. We want to hear from you. Who is Saibatu?
It's a good question. I think number one, everything you read is true, and actually, if we talk about what went into all of that, that's a whole nother show in itself, right? Because you read it and it sounds so easy. It sounds like it was just a blast. It was so much fun, but it was a lot of stress just to get through that. But who am I? Outside of that, who am I? First and foremost, I am a servant of God. I am grateful to have every day of life to do the things that you have mentioned and the things that I continue to do. I am this passionate, driven woman. I'm a woman that holds herself to extremely high standards. And I tell the world, if you hold me to a standard, you better believe that I hold myself to a higher standard than that, right? So I hold myself accountable. I hold myself to standard. And I truly live to now, be part of change. As you say, I'm in Sierra Leone, moved from the States to Sierra Leone, and I'm here to be the light. So who am I today? I want to be the light. That's what I'm striving to be every day.
Yes, she wants to be the light. And how's the year started treating you? I mean, we're still in the first month of the year. How's it treating you?
Well, it's 22 days. Not that I'm counting or anything, but it's 22 days, and it's been good. It started off good and good because it's the mindset. And for me, it's not 2023 or 2022 or 2024. It's an everyday mindset of what am I going to be the best at whatever it is that I'm doing today. So every day for me, if we want to talk about the new year, every day is a new day for me. Every day is a new day to be better than I was yesterday. So for me, I have New Year's every day, pretty much. It's a new day every day.
So happy New Year to you.
Happy New Day. Happy New Day to me. Happy New Day. Every day I should
Happy
say
New
Happy
Year.
New Day.
Right, we love it. We love it. Right. So there's a
Yeah.
quick one. We want to just so in short, how will you want to describe your life journey, including where you came from,
Yeah.
where you went to, where you are, where you want to be, in relation to letting us know that you you're capable of doing stuff.
Yeah. Um, my life journey is an interesting one. I feel like I've lived so many lives in this short amount of time. As I listen to you read the bio, every time I hear the bio, it's almost as though it's about someone else. It's almost as surreal. It's not even my own life. So my
Mm,
journey started. My parents were in the United States, immigrants in the United States, going to
right,
school where they had me, and immediately moved back to Sierra Leone once they graduated. So I was about 5 6 years old when I moved to
right,
Sierra Leone. And I started my journey in very rural Sierra Leone. I didn't even get to the capital city from America straight to rural Sierra Leone, right? I remember waking up the first morning and thinking, this does not look anything like America. What is happening to me, right? And then from there, my parents, my father was an accountant. He moved from the rural areas to the capital city, where I did all of my schooling until my, form six, my higher level of schooling of secondary school education. We moved back to the rural areas, and from there, in 1994, I relocated to the United States and
okay,
immediately joined the military, which was by far the best decision professionally that I could have made, because I think without that, all of what you've read would have been impossible to do outside of the will of Allah. This is what God has decreed for me, and He guided me to that. So I went into the military. Not necessarily, I'm in America. I don't have any support system. I have my sisters there, but she's also working. My mother and father in Sierra Leone. You better figure out what to do, because a lot of people are hoping that you're going to be successful, right? So I joined the military. Great decision, and found that it's an untapped area. It's an area that I didn't think I had the skills for. Like, I wasn't, I mean, I was an athlete of sorts in school. I ran a little bit here in school, but, not that I was shooting guns. I was doing all of this boyish sort of things, if you want to call it that. And then I joined the military and I excelled. And I thought, I should have been doing this a long time ago. When we went to do our physical fitness test, I was, at the top of everybody, just like everybody else. I was up there holding my own. And one thing that moved me is that I never forgot where I came from. That it was a driving force for success for me. I can't half step anything. I can't do a little bit of work. I have to work 10 times harder than the next person, not because I'm competing with the next person, but I'm competing with this African girl who has something. I need to have something. I can't waste away here in America. And so I worked hard in the military, and through that, I got the nomination to work at the White House. There's a lot in between that, but to get the nomination to even be, considered to apply for the job at the White House. When I received the call, I thought, there's no way. I think you dialed the wrong number. You're not looking for me. You're Saibatu Mansaray from Singapore. You're not looking for me. You dialed the wrong number. And the lady was like, no, your record stands for itself. You should apply. And even at that, I had a little hesitancy, because I'm thinking, I'm a Sierra Leonean, I'm an African girl.
right,
What are the
right.
chances that you're going to select me? Why me of everybody else? And I did. Out of, there was 9 of us that competed for the job. They only wanted one person, right? And I didn't even have the rank. Everybody was a major. I was a captain. So I went in with this hesitancy, like, well, I'm an African. I'm an African. I'm a woman. They've never had a woman in this position. What are the chances I'm going to get this thing? I'm a captain. All of everything was stacked against me. Typically, right? But again, confidence. Being confident
Right.
and remembering that everything you do, give it 100%. And I went into that interview, did well, and that was the kickstart to truly a career. Right? Everything else was great, but that was where the career minded personality started to kick in, that you have so much to offer. You don't even know what you have to offer. And this is your time. Black too can shine. You're now at the White House. You got this, And so from there, I just, it took off from there. And here we are now. I'm back in Sierra Leone, did all of that time there. And I wanted to come back to Sierra Leone to give back. After 26 years, it's of no use to get all of this experience and not bring it back to your home country continent to improve it. We have so many disadvantages as a continent. So if there are people like us that gain so much experience, we should bring it back to improve our own communities. And so I came back to do that. And as you talk about the way forward, where I am today, it's about being the light, right? About making a difference, about showing young girls in Sierra Leone that nothing can stop you other than yourself. Right? You are your own. You're the one that can promote yourself. You're the one that can limit yourself. You're the one in control of all of that. And how do I see myself in the future? That's a very tough question because, Benjamin, believe it or not, I live my life. It's a new day every day. I literally live my life by the day. I don't live my life as though I have tomorrow and I have 5 years from today. I don't live for that. I truly want that every day I wake up, I give it 100% because that may be the last day I have to do the things that I need to do. And so where I see myself in 5 years is this work that I'm doing being bigger, expanded, it's reaching and touching many more lives, and many more people are smiling, and many more people, their needs are being met. Less women are dying from childbirth, and Islam is spreading. Women are propagating Islam. There's a lot of work that I'm doing here that we don't talk about, but there's a lot that I want to see grow outside of Sierra Leone. I want to be the light. That's just it. I want to be the light.
She wants to be the light. Wow. I would just need time to break this up. But before I do that, I just want to take a quick commercial break. Right after that, we're going to break all that Saibatu has said. Don't go anywhere.
Perfect.
Share the link. We'll be back.
Mm-hmm.
Need a spark to kickstart your innovation? Looking for thought and talks to get things moving? Wondering how to navigate a future full of change and uncertainty? With the eye-opening stories of digital disruption, extreme customer centricity, organizational innovation, and global shift, our collective of speakers, MCs, and moderators will shift your perspective. Meet our speakers. For booking and interviews, contact us on 0246 054092 or send us a mail info.accessnet@gmail.com. You can also follow us on all social media channels at AccessNet Global, African Seasoned Speakers Network, influencing the next generation of Africans.
Influencing the next generation of Africans, and that's what we seek to do, and that's what we're doing here on the Power Impact series. Hey, if you're now joining us, oh my God, do you know what? You just want to continue watching, and then right after the show, just go and start the show and watch everything, because what has been deposited some few minutes ago, we are about to digest it. We're going to break it down because it's a lot that Saibatu has shared with us. Whoop. Let me just take some comments that are coming in from those that are joining us online. Okay, I have here Richard Tete from Ghana says hi. It says, I'm watching you all the way from West Legon. Thank you so much. I have in here Gribel Asante, and he says, watching you from Lomnava. Thank you for joining us. I have Ama Bichem. Ama Bichem says, wow, I'm so interested. Wow, Ama, you going to be wowed, I'm telling you. And I have here Bob Beatty. Bob Beatty says, wow, real woman empowerment this. I love the real African woman power you possess. What an energy. I tell you, Bob, this energy has not started dissipating. It's about to do that. So just stick close to your screen. Don't go anywhere. She's about to do that. It's just like volcano is about to erupt. Right. Keep it going. Let me know who's online. Share your comment and let's start the battle, or let's start rolling it. Right. So, Saibatu, in you being elected to the White House as the first woman. What did you do? What was so peculiar about you? What was the kind of path you took that made you stood out among the lot? How many were you? I'm sure you were quite a number. So
Yeah.
why you?
Well, why me? Why me? Because I am Saibatu Mansaray. That's why me. What other reason would there be? No, it's the work you've done. This is a reminder that you never know who's watching. For everybody that's out there doing your craft, whatever you're doing, and you may think no one's watching, no one's paying attention to what you're doing, but trust me, someone's watching you. And I think that was that. I know that someone had watched my career path and said, this woman is on fire. She's got it. She's the person we need at the White House. We've done this. We've had this job for 15 years and we've never had a woman. This woman is a trailblazer. We need to take her and we need her to be there. And I think, the work I did in Iraq was a very, very trying time for me. Number one, as a soldier, as a medical provider, as a person, it's trauma. It's a lot. It's a lot of trauma. As you mentioned, I treated 7,000 patients, 7,000 trauma patients, right, in 1 year. And so when you think of, and these are not people that are saying my finger hurts, my toe hurts. These are trauma patients who have gone through, whether it's a gunshot wound, whether it's a bomb blast, whether it's something, right? And so to be in that state of mind where you're worried about your own life, but you are prioritizing to take care of other people, demonstrated well to the powers to be in the military and say, she has what it takes to take care of 7,000 trauma patients, then she has what it takes to take care of the president of the United States of America. Because what do we want? We want continuity of government. We want somebody to make sure, and we know medical is very, very important when we talk about continuity of a government, right? There's national security issues, right? But if the president is unwell, that's a problem, right? That also means we don't have the right people around him to make sure that if something were to happen, they can respond appropriately, then we have a problem. And as a physician assistant on the team that provides support to the president, our main role is to make sure that we provide trauma care to him, right? Which is why your trauma background has to be very strong. Your emergency medicine background has to be very strong and demonstrated, right? Not just on paper. You have to demonstrate. And I demonstrated with 7,000 people right before, right? And so bad situation, but it ended up working out to demonstrate my skills to lead me to the White House. And so while I was there, part of my job was to provide executive and austere medicine to the presidents, the vice presidents, and their families. And so that could be routine care, that could be trauma care. You were with them 24/7, right? They never went without support, medical support, and planning, always ahead to plan, look out for what could happen. What could happen? I have to make sure that we can take care of that, the contingencies. And so it was a very interesting journey. I learned a lot. I developed a lot as a leader, as a medical provider. But why me? I did. I was competing against 9 people, as I said, and all these people had higher ranks than I was. But part of how you articulate and you have to convince people. I believe that as Africans, they just need to let us in the room. I knock on the door. If you crack the door open, you'll never crack the door open to another African because we come in with so much energy that you don't have a choice. You have to accept me. You have to pick me because I am committed to the fight. And so I entered that room with so much confidence to do that interview with them. And there was a panel of people. You walk and you're intimidated, but because this is the life of the president, right? They're entrusting the life of the president in your hands. And so they don't want any just riffraff to come in. They need somebody with skills. And so, so it was a scary day when they called me that I got the job. I didn't want to answer the phone. They called the next day and the phone rang. I said, no, it's the White House. I'm not going to answer. They can leave me a message because I don't want to know if I didn't get the job. Right. And then fast forward, my mom says, answer the call, whatever it is, you're okay. I answered it and they said, you got the job. And Benjamin, I think the mountains are still echoing the scream that I let out because I was like, me? Are you serious? The girl from Sierra Leone, you picked me, So so that's that story.
Well, that's the girl from Sierra Leone who was picked to go into the White House. So you were more or less like a preserver because the role you were playing in the White House was more like preserving the president. So in actual fact, you were kind of giving life support to the president in a way because that's huge. That's huge, man. So how are you balancing it? What was the appointment given to you after your trip in Iraq, or it was whilst you were in Iraq that you had that position? They want to know how that happened.
It was after. It was after.
It's
Yes, it was
after. Right,
after.
right, right, right,
It was
right, right,
actually
right.
my did my first deployments where I treated the 7,000 patients, and I did a second tour to Iraq when I got the notification that you should apply for the position. And in that second one was the same thing. I didn't treat as many patients, but I was out a lot. Providing support to the infantrymen. So I was like their, a moving sort of clinic. I had a vehicle that we would provide treatments to the soldiers and the Iraqi soldiers as well. And so it was after my 2 deployments to Iraq that I ended up at the White House.
Well, that's huge. What were some of the things that were going through your mind when you were in Iraq? I mean, you were not.
I mean,
The boy
first
fam.
and foremost, the very first thing you're always thinking about is I need to stay alive. Like this is the first thing I need to think about. I can't worry about anything else. I need to stay alive right now. It's a game of you're constantly playing to yourself what I'm doing, what I could do better, how I need to stay alive, how I need to keep the lives of my. You talk about preserving and life support. I was also
Yeah.
life support for soldiers, right? Because the role of the physician assistant as well in combat is that, right? You're providing emergency and routine care, but a lot of it becomes emergency care, it's trauma care. You're at war, right? And so every day, trauma patients are coming in, you're responding in that light. And so I think it's just more so questioning yourself, and I still live through that sort of routine method every day, going through a checklist, making sure that, did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? Nope, you missed a step. Go back one step, So constantly checking, reevaluating yourself. But that's how life should be. We should be
Right.
constantly reevaluating ourselves, right? Don't get complacent. Don't get comfortable. Don't say because I've done it 10 times, I don't need to have a checklist. Still go over your checklist, because whenever you become complacent, you're going to miss something. And that missing could be a life or death situation. It could be you losing a job because you failed to do that particular thing. It could be so many things. And so I think we need to have a constant check-in with ourselves, reevaluate yourself every day on what you're doing.
Reevaluate yourself every day in what you're doing. So, with this story that you've given us, how how then do still we have black people in opportune areas and then still feels that they don't deserve certain positions to make an impact? Why do black people, or why do the people with color feels that there are some positions that are actually left or placed for certain other people, not them? Did you have that kind of feeling when you were in there?
No, and I tell you, I never felt that way. I felt like I represented my country. I wanted them that every time they met a Sierra Leonean, if they met somebody and they say, "What's your name?" and you sounded like a Saibatu Mansaray, and say, "Where are you from?" "I'm from Sierra Leone." That it would trigger their mind immediately. It says, "Oh, I worked with somebody from Sierra Leone before. She was a rock star. She was a superstar. She was the, it's not just about me as a person. I'm representing Sierra Leone. I'm representing West Africans. I'm representing Africans, right? So I'm representing my family. And so when you look at the little communities, the layers that you build around yourself that represent you, or that you're representing, that you're representing, you will always find yourself that if you do your best at that job, you're leaving a mark, you're leaving a legacy, not just for you, but for every African to come. If we go in second guessing that we don't deserve to be there, then you don't deserve to be there. If you think you're not supposed to be there, then you're not going to be there. When you walk in the room and you say, "I deserve to be here," like the European's supposed to be here, like the whomever else is supposed to be here, then you're owning that journey. But the moment you second guess your journey, you come off that way, right? To the people, they sense it, that you're uncertain about yourself. And nobody wants to hire someone that's not certain. No one wants to hire someone that's not going to contribute. We have a role to play to sell ourselves, that the African that you may think I am is not the African I am. I'm hardworking. us by nature as Africans, we are resilient. We are strong. We have so much. I mean, we just are by our journey, our ancestral journey. We
Right.
are resilient people, right? And so we can't let anybody tell us that we don't deserve to be there. We're one of the brightest people. There's one thing I can say in America, when you talk about Africans, the first thing people always say is that you guys are smart. You guys are very
Right.
smart, right? We are known for intelligence, we're known for our education, how we value education, we do well. And so I think we have to be the ones to leave the mark that I'm supposed to be here. Saibatu Mansaray, I'm not going to pronounce my name any different. I'm not going to let you call me something else. I'm Saibatu Mansaray, and I'm here to leave a mark, not just for me, but for every African that you will ever meet. You will remember that an African was here before, and you're going to want more Africans to come because I did a fantastic job while I was there.
Most definitely. She did a fantastic job. To become the very first woman to be appointed to that role means she did a lot of work. And yeah, she never looked down upon herself, and she did exactly that. Don't look down upon yourself. That's what Saibatu Mansaray is saying. She wouldn't allow you to change her name to any other name. Yeah. Right.
Really,
No, no,
I'm
no, no.
proud. I'm African and I'm proud. Yes.
Right, right. She's an African and she's proud. And she said it. Africans are smart wherever you find yourself. Make that move and brighten that corner where you find yourself. You too can shine. That's from Saibatu Mansaray. Right, right. Let me just read some comments for you because yes, the comment section is bustling. Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. All right. So Augusta I says, oops, wow. Very proud of you, madam. And Dr. Abigail Wilson, yes, she says, great job, Saibatu. Yes, 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 yes. Amabichem say, I salute you, ma'am. Ah, Kola, from the northern part of Ghana, to be precise. He says, do Africans have to work harder at what they do because Africans are considered incapable or working to prove that we are capable? People like you are inspiring. Thank you. Thank you so much. Kola, Eunice Aponsa says, what? Great job. It's really very important to make an excellent impression on your first opportunity given. This paved way for you and others within your ethnicity, especially Black women, for a greater height. She comes again to say, thank you very much for making Black women stand out. God bless you. Right, right, right. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can do it. Yeah, you didn't feel so worried that were the place you were entering to. Was it a kind of male dominated area? And then you going in as a woman. Then how was it feeling like? How were you
Yeah.
were you able to show that and through?
It's confidence. I walked in and I'm thinking, you're walking with two legs. You're operating with the same brain that I have. I mean, I'm resilient than you are. I've come I'm from Africa. I'm from Africa. I've had to walk further than you've had to walk. And so I'm walking it. It's about having confidence in you, confidence in what you're bringing to the table. So even though you're a man standing beside me doing that work, I'm confident in what I'm bringing to the table because the competition is not with that man. The competition is with Saibatu. The competition is with me. I'm competing with the better version of me. So I don't care if there's 50 men around me that can shoot or that are faster than I am, that are better at trauma medicine than I am. I'm not competing with you. I'm competing with who Saibatu could possibly be. And I know that I could be better every day. And so I strive for that. And so, no, yes, the military itself was designed, not designed, but the military by design is a male dominated space, right? It's a male dominance area. So I'd already served so many years in the military at that point. So to go to the White House to also be a minority by gender,
Right.
was also to demonstrate that I had what it took because I was the first one that they brought on as a woman to stand beside these men to compete, right? For them, it's a competition amongst the genders. But for me, it was a competition with myself to say, now you've been let in the door. They've cracked the door open for you. Now keep the door open for every other woman to come and compete with herself. open the door for more Africans to come and compete with themselves, not to compete with the American, not to compete with the man, not to compete with the tall guy, the white guy, the this. No, no, no. Compete with yourself to be the best version of yourself.
Compete with yourself to be the best version of yourself. I'm in the studio today with Saibatu Mansaray, all the way from Sierra Leone. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm being blown away already. I'm being blown away because, yes, I've started competing with myself now. I've started competing with myself now. I need to. You need to. Wow, 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 wow. All right. So after doing all this, why did you want to return to Africa? Why do you want to return to Africa?
Benjamin, Ambassador Benjamin Owusu Ansa. Did you
Yes.
ask me why? I gave you the full name there. Why did I return to Sierra Leone? Why did I return to the motherland? I returned because I need to take all of that to bring back to my home country so that they can also be among the best. When we talk about Africa, we have to get out of talking about Africa as though it's just woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. Africa is producing rock stars. Africa is producing, there are people like me. I'm one of so many that are doing fantastic things out there, right? We have to bring it back. That's the problem. While we're great, we stay out there, we're never going to improve our own countries. And so you have to come home. In the military, say you improve your fighting position. You have to improve your fighting position every day. You have to dig it. You have to clean it out. You have to improve your area. And so to maintain that while another country benefits from my experience is a disservice to my country. It's lack of patriotism to my country. I need to come back and I need to inspire young girls, young women, youth. I need to inspire them that your environment doesn't dictate the heights that you will attain. Never would I have thought as a little girl going to school in Sierra Leone that I will ever walk the halls of the White House for 10 years straight. You couldn't have told me that when I was a kid going to school, because I have not been given the opportunity to see someone like me when I was a kid. I didn't have the opportunity to dream big. So I come back to be that for a young girl here who may be second guessing what she can be in life. I'm here to say you can be whatever it is that you want to be, but you must work hard. You must remember where you came from and represent yourself. Compete with yourself. Remember, only compare yourself to yourself, right? So no, I came back to be a change, to be something that I lacked when I was a kid. I didn't have a role model to look up to when I was a child to even aspire to be like. I want young girls in Sierra Leone, in Africa, to be able to look up. And at least if you take a small section of my life and say, I'm going to work towards that for my own self, I'm going to be better than Saibatu, then mission accomplished. I want better than Saibatu Mansaray. That's what I want our Africa to be.
Wow. You know what, Saibatu, you know what? I'm actually sweating in the studio because things that you say. Wow. I mean, you just blown us away, and we really appreciate you for who you are. We love the
Thank you.
confidence. We really love your tenacity. You can do spirit. I mean, that's the African spirit everywhere you find an African. And well, let me just read what this guy is saying. He says what? He said, Bob Baden from Ghana says, we need her as an ambassador here too. So I don't know how you're going to take that. I don't know how you're going to split between Ghana
Bob,
and
Bob, I'm here for you, Bob. Whatever you say, I got you covered, Bob.
All right, Bob, that's for you. Kola says, okay. He's saying in one of our local parlance says that in Tree we say Obia Nyobia. You are competing only with another version of yourself. Confidence is key.
Love it. Love it. Love it. I need to learn how to say that. In Twi, we say obia nya ni obia.
Obia nye obia.
Obia
Obia
nya
enye
obia.
obia. Yes.
Okay.
Obia nye obia.
I need extra lesson on that. Cola nuts, you and I need to connect. The Saibatu Mansaray journey, cola nuts. We need to connect. I need you to teach me some of the lingo.
Was definitely Kola. You need to. I think you need to connect with Kola. Kola is also doing a wonderful job in the northern part of Ghana, so I'm sure that's why.
Oh,
That's why
my
you're connecting already. So I mean,
God, good.
this
I love the name Kola Nut. I
yeah,
love
Kola
it.
not.
He's representing Africa. I love that. Identity is very important. I love that.
Right, right, and that's something that you've stuck to all these years.
Mhm.
That's the Saibatu we've known all these years. You've really stuck to that, and thumbs up to that. We say well done because you've really
Yeah.
stuck to that identity as an
Yes.
African. And I just chip in that question just to get that reaction, and I got that reaction so well.
Definitely.
Okay, so Saibatu, yes, okay. Want to take this one. What actually motivates you in life? What motivates you to
Yeah.
be that go-getter, to move in there and
Yeah.
then bust all the rules, right? Move in the right direction, not breaking the rules in the wrong way, but breaking
Yeah.
it in the right way to have that self-confidence pop up wherever you find yourself. What motivates you?
Yeah. I, you know, my motivation, as I said, we reevaluate every day. My motivation today for why I do what I do is different from my motivation before. My motivation before was about that competing with myself, was about representing where I'm from, was about not letting, I have to take something back. I have to stand out as an African. I want them to know that Africans have what it takes to shine, right? We have what it takes. And so I'm going to do the extra work to demonstrate that. And so it was my motivation every day that the world is watching. And maybe they weren't, right? But in my mind, the world is watching you because you're on, it's like the Olympics, right? You're at the final leg, you're on the platform receiving the gold. You should be striving for the gold for Sierra Leone. And so my motivation was about representing my country, was about being the best version of myself. That was truly it. And today my motivation is about putting a smile on someone's face. Is it about impacting lives? It's about impact. I get up every day. Everything I do today is about impacting the lives of our people. That is the key. And if what I do is not impactful, I don't do it. I don't do things just to do it anymore. I do it. It has to be impactful. It has to be about change. It has to be about inspiring a young person that they can dream big, that they can be who they want to be and not limit themselves to what what society says that we're going to be. You're never going to be something. You're only going to be this. Where we draw these parameters in kids' lives that you can be a doctor, you can be a lawyer, but there's so many things that they can be. Why are we only pushing our children towards those things? And so my passion today and my motivation today is different from before, and they're all tangled together in some sort of interesting way, because in the end it's about the African people. It really is. I'm very, very proud. It sounds super weird, but I'm super proud to be African, and I never want that to be confused for anything. Funny enough, I lived 26 years in the United States, and there's states, right? And so they'll ask you, where are you from? And never did someone ask me where I was from, did I name a state in America. Even though I
Oh,
North Carolina for so many years. I lived in Virginia for so many years. I was actually born in Virginia. Whenever someone asked me where I was from, 100% it was, I'm from Sierra Leone. And then we go into, well, where's that? Right? That's not
you
even
know.
well, I know. It's actually in Africa, it's West Africa, but I never ever forgot where I came from. I never
That's
forgot
right.
that. And I pray to have that, to always keep that with me until I'm no longer here. Never forget where I came
You never forget where you're coming from. And yes, that has been here. If you follow Cyber, you just be having a revision now because you are just going through your notes and you're like, yeah, I mean, you're just revising your note because the Cyber to 26 years ago is what you're saying. She's kept to her roots and
from.
she's not changed. Her position has been, I am from Sierra Leone. I am African. Thank you. You're watching the Power Impact series. So with me, the Ambassador Benjamin Uzwans and Saibatu Mansaray, all the way from Sierra Leone, West Africa. Right. Ah, gosh, I just don't know. I've seen you doing a lot of stuff with the Mansaray Foundation. What is the Mansaray Foundation all about?
Yes, yes. Thank you for asking about that. It's near and dear to my heart. The Mansory Foundation is a nonprofit organization that's focused on reducing maternal deaths in rural Sierra Leone. I lost two aunts to maternal mortality, leaving behind eight cousins, and that was the impetus to get this foundation started. They are just two people. They are a statistic. Many more women have died since they passed away, and so we focus on grassroots approach. I don't look at our approach to African problems, especially when it comes to things like this, from the big INGO and bringing in all these fancy things. I focus on the mindset first, right? How do we get our people to recognize that dying from childbirth is not normal? It's not acceptable. We have something to do about that. We have a role to play, and let's not forget the social aspects to that, right? We can
Right.
build 10,000 clinics, and we can fill them with the best of the art, state of the art equipment and medicines and providers. But if the rural woman does not want to come to the clinic to deliver, then it doesn't matter what you've done. So we have to address the mindsets of the people. We have to get them to understand that this is not normal. When you have countries like the UK, and not to compare Africa to Europe, but 7 women dying in the UK, and here in Sierra Leone we have 717 women dying from childbirth. Right, that's a very huge disparity. But even if you keep it in Africa, you have 38 women dying in Cape Verde. Right, that's West Africa. There's only 2 or 3 countries away from us. Right,
Right.
37 died in Egypt. That's also Africa. Right, so
Mhm.
we have the capability to do it, but it starts with our education, educating the people. And so we focus more on increasing access to care. We focus on equipping the clinics with the proper, call it state of the art, but just the basic things that we need that provides quality care. And we focus on the quality care aspect from medical supplies, but also from training. We want the
Right.
providers to be equipped with the proper, 2023, way to treat, our patients versus what you learned 30 years ago in school. And so we've been around now for about a year and a half, 2 years. I moved to Sierra Leone 2 years ago. So about a year and a half to 2 years now, we've been doing this work. We've been, and I would say, alhamdulillah, we've been successful at getting the community. Focus on community efforts. The community has to have buy-in. The community has to have a say in what we're doing. I don't come in and say, this is the way to do it. I want you to understand why it's important for you to do this, because this is for your wife, this is for your children, for them to be able to, for you to have a thriving community. If all the women and the children are dying, then what do we have left for a community? And so that's the work that we're doing here. And we focus it in the rural areas because they're the disadvantaged, they're the marginalized population. And so we're right now in one district and hoping to spread across rural Sierra Leone by the will of Allah.
Wow, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. You just didn't come back. You came back with a bang, with an impact that you want to create in there, and that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. So, are you doing this on your own, or you have people supporting you to do that? Because this is a huge job. It's a huge
It
project.
is. It is. It is. And hopefully all those people that are leaving comments are going to be some of the supporters. Yes, I just asked that. Now we have partnerships. We have partnerships with other organizations. We partnership with also, international organizations. We partnered with GIZ. We're partnering with other local nonprofit organizations because it's about great minds coming together for the African people. This is not about the Mansory Foundation find out the answer to solving maternal mortality. It's about a community of organizations coming together for the community of Africans, right? And so there are parts that we do. There are other organizations that they're stronger in this area. So we come together and work on those issues. We have a lot of support from the United States, have a very good support system. I was fortunate to work under two administrations, the Obama administration and the Trump administration. So I get some very good support from both for people from the administrations as well. Not necessarily from not looking at it from like, oh, you helped me get through the door, but they're supporting it, financially, and equipment wise and those sort of things. And so we're doing okay. We could do better. We want more. Obviously, the work is so much. As you talked about, starting an agricultural project. project. That's a big project in itself. We're feeding pregnant women because we know that malnutrition is a very big problem. They're delivering babies that are 1 and 2 pounds at weight. And these are women that have carried babies for 9 months, and so we're feeding the pregnant women. We're now trying to go into feeding lactating women as well to make sure that they're able to breastfeed their children. A lot of women are cutting the breastfeeding short because they're not able to produce milk because they're not eating enough, right? We know that the impacts of children that are malnourished, a lot of cognitive issues in school, and then we categorize them as having, problems with school, but actually it's a health issue, right? And so that's a very big project itself. So we look for partnerships. A lot of the work I do, I look for partnerships, I look for sponsorships, for us to be able to accomplish this as a team, not as the Mansaray Foundation being the solve. We didn't solve the problem. All of us have to come together as Africans, because this is an African problem, right? This is an African problem. We're about 2/3 of the deaths are occurring in Africa. 70% of the deaths are occurring in Africa and in Asia.
Wow. Wow. And the funny thing, it's not really a funny thing, but the truth here is that Saibatu, you have served under 3 presidents. Whoops! That's a thumbs up. That's a thumbs up for you. I was just going through that, and I'm like,
everyone's taking shots at me, and yes. So you also remember to be diplomatic. You don't pick sides, right? It's about
right.
work. Focus on your job, right? And I wasn't
right.
there for political reasons. I was there to do a
Right.
job, and I focused on my job, and that was very helpful. Yeah.
That's serious, because I was just trying to take your whole embodiment, how you were able to do that, and you did it clean and then perfectly. That's good. Yeah, let me take this comment from my guy Nana Kwame. Nana Kwame says, well, we need more of Saibatu Mansaray in Africa. Yes, we do. She started producing more of her kind, so yes, we're going to have more of them. Yeah. Eunice says it takes a selfless person wanting to come back to Africa to impart leaving the comfort in Europe. That's it. That if we have to rewrite the dictionary, a perfect word we're going to use for selflessness is Saibatu. Yes, so that's it. All right, Augusta says, what? Compete with yourself. The best version of yourself. This is deep. Thank you, Saibatu. Nana Blessing says, keep the great work. Okay. Let me see from Dr. Abigail Wilson. I love that. Focus on why you are there. No politics. I am very proud of you and your work together with your team. Bravo. Thank you so much, Dr. Abigail. Also, Dr. Abigail Wilson was here last week. Yes. And then Dr. Abigail was here last week. Yeah. Thank you so much. Bob says today's program is not a lecture, but a story filled with change, power, roots, tradition, and identity. Oh, yes, identity in there. Thanks for this. And if I hadn't been part from the beginning, like, I wouldn't believe you being in the military. Honestly, you make the army in you love your spirit and would love to have a back here again, and cause I want to see and want more from you. God bless you.
Oh, thank you. Well, Ambassador Benjamin Owusu Ansah, Mr. Bob Biden has said it, or Biden has said it. But you could go Biden, and it will actually sound cool, Bob. I'm just giving you a little tip. You may get a lot of doors may open if you go with Biden versus Baden as your last name. But he's spoken. He says he needs to have me back on the show. So there you have it, sir.
So it's done. Yeah, Bob she's definitely going to come back for a part 2 of this. We just scratched the surface. She's going to come back for the real topic again. Black too can shine, and she has demonstrated to us the black too can shine. It doesn't matter where the black finds him or herself. Black too can shine. Right about now, I'm just getting ready to pop up the hashtag for today. You can start bringing your hashtag for today. So what we do is that we get a hashtag for each episode, and we run through the whole week with the hashtag. So you can start bring the hashtag up, and let's see before Saibatu just go. Amen. So all I want to say is that, Your final words. But before you do your final words, I want to ask this. Hmm. If you are to relive this life you shared with us, what are some of the things that you want to redo? What are some of the things you want to maintain in your final words for us?
Mm. Oh, that's a hard one because I feel like the life I have, that I have lived, is one of a kind. And
That's
to
right.
ask for something else would almost be greedy. Like, what else do you want? Like, girl, you've had a good life, right? You've had a very good professional life, one
Right.
that I still, like, every day pinch myself. Did I just do that? And every time I hear the bio, I ask, are they talking about me? As soon as you say silence, it's like, it can't be me, right? And so, because I live my life by the day. And so, no, I wouldn't change the journey as hard as it's been. There are lots of trials that we don't talk about in this, right? Lots of moments that, you second guessed yourself, but I would never, I don't want to change anything. I love and I'm grateful to God for the life, the path that He has given me, because it all makes sense. As I live my life today, the journey that God decreed for me makes sense today more than it did when I was in it. Now I look back and I say, that's why that happened. And that's why that crossover was there. And that's why that trial was there. And that's why that good thing happened. Everything aligns. So I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change growing up in Sierra Leone. I wouldn't change it. I lived here all my formidable years and then moved to the States like that, instead of my parents leaving me in the States and them coming back to Sierra Leone, because I wouldn't have had the appreciation and the love for my African people as I do, because I now understand it. So no, I think I'm good with the way that my life is. Alhamdulillah for it. So I wouldn't want to change anything. What was the second part of that question? Because the first one, we're not changing anything, Benjamin. We're keeping it as is.
Right. We keep it as it. We're not changing anything. We're just going to improve upon what we have now. So a better version of that. Right.
Yes,
That's the best one. Yes. So in your final
yes,
words for us, I mean, black too can shine. What are your final words for us?
yes, yes. I think my final words have been sort of, sprinkled throughout the conversation. And I'm sure everyone that's watching is going to take away key things in this. One, we never forget where we come from. Everybody, no matter what you're doing, never forget where you come from. No matter what status you attain in this world, don't forget where you started. We always remember that someone's watching, no matter how small or mundane the work may be that you're doing. Remember that someone's watching. And while you're not working for someone to get, to be appreciated, but through your work, your diligence in your work opens doors for you that you may not been able to open on your own, right? And when that door is open for you, don't take it lightly. Don't take it as a joke. Don't take it as I'll have another chance. You have one shot to make an impression. You have one shot to get it right, right? The people with the second, third, fourth chances, they're not many. A lot of us get one time. And as an African, you get half a time. You don't get one time. You get half a time. So I'm telling you, you get your half a time, you better make that last to one time, right? And so let's do that. And let's always come back, right? We have to contribute, we have to improve our communities. We have to improve our communities. We have to be good for our youth. We have to be role models to our youth. Our youth are struggling. Our youth are going to take over the African population. They're already bigger right now. But if they don't have good role models, what youth are we presenting to the world? Who are they going to be? How many of them are going to sit and tell the story that I'm telling today, right? If we, as the older people now that have traveled a little bit of distance in this world, if we don't empower them to be the better versions of themselves, then we will not have the Africa that we all want it to be. And so that would be my 4 or 5 tips. You didn't ask for tips, you asked for parting words, but I made them into tips because I'm a retired Army major, so I have to go through the checklist. I'm sorry.
That is it, Commander or Sir. I take it. I take it. Yeah. Right. So, yes, before we take our hashtag, you can put something, say some good words to Saibatu. And then right after this break, we can give you the hashtag for today. So don't go anywhere. Stay around. Right.
Need a spark to kickstart your innovation? Looking for thoughts and talks to get things moving? Wondering how to navigate a future full of change and uncertainty? With the eye-opening stories of digital disruption, extreme customer centricity, organizational innovation, and global shift, our collective of speakers, MCs, and moderators will shift your perspective. Meet our speakers. For booking and interviews, contact us on 0246 054092 or send us a mail info.accessnet@gmail.com. You can also follow us on all social media channels at AccessNet Global, African Seasoned Speakers Network, influencing the next generation of Africans.
Influencing the next generation of Africans, and this is what we're doing. And it has been a wonderful time today with Saibatu Mansaray all the way from Sierra Leone, West Africa. It's been a wonderful time, and I'm loving the comments I'm having here. Yeah. I mean, I love you bringing in your hashtag for today. Lily Teko says very insightful. Thank you, Saibatu. And then the boss charger, one of the sponsors. Says I'm watching live from Dallas, Texas. Thank you so much, Dr. T. You've been a big support to the whole show. Thank you so much. All right. Some of the hashtags that are coming in. Black identity inspire all. Okay. One shot, one change, one people. Go. She go. Okay. Dr. Abby, what are you saying? On match. That's your tag. You are on match. That's your tag.
Unmatched. I love
Unmatched.
unmatched.
That's your tag. That's it. Thank you. So this is what we're going to do. All right. Let's try and see if we can drop our hashtag for today. So the hashtag for today's show is being the best version.
Being the best version. Yes. I like it.
Don't
Yes.
compete with anybody. Be the best version of yourself. And then you get to where you want to get to. Yeah. That's it. It has been so good. It has been so wonderful listening to Cyber to share his story and then inspire us to go beyond our levels of what we are standing in here for. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It has been a wonderful time. It has been so beautiful today. You know,
It's
we're gonna be on
over.
our time soon.
It went
Someone give me a tissue. Someone give me a tissue for Cyber too. She wants to cry. She's blushing already.
I feel connected to the Ghanaian community. You know, I don't have a lot of connection with the Ghanaian community, and so I definitely want to keep this going. I love the energy that they have as well, and the support that they're giving to your program, your work, the people that you're bringing on. So I feel connected with the Ghanaian community. And Abigail, how do we connect with you? I'm on Facebook, the Saibatu Mansaray Journey. You get to see all the other cool things and fun things and African inspiration. Be the best version of yourself things, be the light things. The Saibatu Mansaray Journey on Facebook. Please connect with me there. And Ambassador Benjamin Owusu Ansa. I like to say your name, full name. I don't know why. It sounds cool. It sounds cooler than Saibatu Mansaray. I feel like I need to have like a fancier version of the Saibatu Mansaray, right? You've been great, sir. Thank you so much for having me on your show, and I look forward to many more partnerships, many more storytelling, many more inspirational moments by the will of Allah.
That's so well. Thank you so much. And you mentioned the name so well. I was like, where did she do the rehearsal from? I mean, God, she's mentioning it so well. That's good.
YouTube helped me.
That's it.
Everybody goes to YouTube for everything, so I figured I'd go to YouTube as well.
That's it. You mentioned it so well, and that's good. Thank you so much also for availing yourself to be on this platform, to be a source of inspiration and a source of hope to the Black person being able to shine wherever they find themselves. Yet, so Abigail, yes, you know what? She is all over Facebook. She's all over Facebook. Get her there, and you see the wonderful work she's doing in Sierra Leone. She's so well, doing it so well. She's so passionate about it. passionate about it. When you hear the name, you might think, yeah, you're having a huge, but when you see the pictures, you understand what she was saying, all that she has been telling you about. Thank you so much. And God richly bless you all for being part of this show. You know what we say today? We want to say, as we do always, dreams are in levels. Make sure you get to the top level of your dream. So being the best version of yourself, have it for the week, and make sure you go get what you're supposed to get. Don't compete with anybody, compete with the best version of yourself. So we'll meet same time next week. It has been me, Ambassador Benjamin Owusu Ansah, with Saibatu Mansaray, and then powered by the African Season Speakers Network, bringing you the Power Impact Series. So we'll meet same time next week, same platform. We want to say have a wonderful week, and God bless you all.